Hi guys, welcome back to another snapshot video. So 20w10a got released today, and some of the highlights include 4 new blocks, invisible item frames, changes to hosts, and of course a lot of bug fixes. Let's check out the 4 new blocks first. So we have warped Hyphae and crimson Hyphae, and then stripped variants. So those are basically the bark block variants of the nether logs. So you can get them with a normal crafting table, like with the bark blocks. Just need to take 4 of the normal logs and then put it into the crafting table, and you can get 3 Hyphae blocks. So they basically have the texture all around. So they don't have this top texture like the normal log blocks. And yeah, you can get the stripped variant by using your X on it. Moving on to the item frames, there are 2 new tags for them. Fixed and invisible. Invisible, of course, makes the item frames invisible. I think this looks really nice. It's an invisible item frame here in the back. And fixed prevents your item frame from being broken or from changes being made to those. So I can't put an item into it, and I also can't even break it in creative mode to use a command to get rid of it again. Okay, unfortunately this is creative mode only. There's no way to get those in survival. For example, if you would try to throw an invisibility potion at the item frame, it wouldn't work on it. Hosts can also now be enchanted, like a shovel, a pickaxe, or an axe, using the enchantment table or an anvil. And 3 new enchantments got added to the hoe, so you can get efficiency on it, can get fortune and silk touch on it. As you can see here, I could enchant this diamond hoe. And of course, I could also do the same using the anvil. It of course also works with the new netherite hoe. So at the moment, I don't think there's a use for silk touch yet, so specifically for the hoes, since the only blocks you can break at the moment are hay bales. This got added in this version. You can break this with the hoe now, and the wart blocks. In case you have enough efficiency on it, you can also insta-mine those wart blocks now. The hay bales as well. I've also heard some people saying you could mine leaves with it. No, that's definitely not true. You still need the shears for that. Of course, if you have silk touch on your hoe, you can use that to mine glass blocks, for example. Since there's no designated tool to mine glass blocks, might be an option to use hoes for that, since you still can get netherite hoes from piglin trading. Just an idea what you could use the silk touch for. In case you have fortune on your hoe, you can use it to get more carrots, for example. There's also now a use for the smithing table. It's used to forge your netherite tools. So you can't use the crafting table anymore. If you would try to combine the netherite ingot with your helmet, for example, wouldn't work anymore. You need to use the smithing table. What also got added now, if you use the smithing table, the armor and tools would keep the enchantments. So as you can see, we got a protection for a diamond helmet. The netherite helmet has that as well. Also, it comes at no cost, you just need a smithing table. So in case you still have some armor left from 1.14 that has multiple protection enchantments on it, you no longer need to decide between netherite armor and the so-called god or OP armor. You can just convert it into netherite now and use it in 1.16. Next point, bartering. So here we got some changes again. Some items were scratched off the bartering list, items were re-added, and we also got a completely new addition to bartering. So here we have the list of items that got added compared to last week's version. Soul Sand is renewable again via bartering, and iron nuggets were also now a list of the items you can obtain via bartering. Here we got a list of items that got removed compared to last version. So the warped nylium was removed, the warped fungus was removed, and the shroomlight. One consequence of warped nylium being removed from the bartering list is that netherrack is also no longer renewable, since you can convert nylium into netherrack. A consequence of the warped fungus being removed from the bartering list is that the fungus logs are also no longer renewable. And the shroomlight is also no longer renewable. Additionally, in order to get it, you need to make some kind of a fungus-based tree farm now. Also, the weight of some of the items got changed, and therefore the amount of items you can get per hour. The netherite hoe is now the only item that has a weight of 1, and therefore a chance of 0.24 of being selected as an item that you can get from one piglin trade. Then we got a larger group of items with a weight of 10 and a 2.43% chance. So the fire resistance potion and the splash fire resistance potion and iron nuggets. If that is actually selected, you get between 9 and 36, so 22.5 on average. So you can now make a piglin bartering based iron farm, kinda a conversion of gold to iron. But the rates aren't that great compared to a conventional villager iron golem farm. So it's just another way to get iron, but it's not really comparable to a villager farm. Then we got a larger group of items with a weight of 20. So we got quartz in there, like last week, magma cream, glowstone dust, ender pearls, string, and fire charges, and a group with a weight of 40 and almost a 10% chance is this one here with leather, the nether brick, obsidian, crying obsidian, soul sand which got added again, and gravel. In the last line we can also see how many items we can get per hour by trading with 1 piglin all the time, so converting 600 golden ingots into the barter items. Actually this week we estimated how fast we can make a gold farm, and we think we can get about 60,000 gold ingots per hour with a high-end gold farm that requires a lot of effort. So for example, we could probably get 35,000 quartz per hour. One of the consequences is that on our 1.12 server we don't even collect a lot of the nether quartz ore anymore, since in 1.16 we can just make a really powerful quartz farm now. But yeah, if you take those numbers, that's something we can get from a low-end gold farm. We can get about 350 quartz per hour. Then moving on, because of performance reasons, fish now also despawn if there's no player within 64 blocks. But this doesn't affect a squid. So as you can see, I spawn in a lot of salmon. If I fly up a little bit, once I'm 64 blocks away, the salmon would despawn. So right now, but that one squid was focusing still there. So that has some consequences for squid farms. So you could now, if you AFK in the right position, make a farm that is free of fish, which is kind of a problem for a lot of squid farms. So this is actually kind of helpful. Unfortunately, squid farms are not really that helpful anymore, since you could just replace them with a wizardrose farm, of course. Now let's move on with some of the bug fixes in this week's snapshot. The target block, when moved, doesn't retain its signal strength value anymore, and its powering status. So as soon as you move it, it no longer powers nearby blocks and just defaults back to non-powering. But the cooldown still applies, so if we quickly try to hit target block again, it doesn't give out a new signal, so that doesn't reset. Tripwire hooks can now also be attached to the target block, redstone blocks, and observers. Not quite sure how helpful this will be from a technical standpoint. What maybe comes to mind that you could place a tripwire hook directly on the detection side of an observer and get a short pulse output from an activated tripwire. Maybe this is useful in some contraption. Wizard skeletons also now properly attack piglins. I'm not quite sure who's stronger though. I think it's pretty even, but yeah, this time definitely the wizard skeletons win. The patch note said that piglins not being attracted by golden rails is fixed, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And I just checked earlier, the bug report was also opened again. So piglins still don't pick up golden rails. I also want to use one opportunity to address a question I got quite a lot the last couple of weeks. So people are worried that the old zombie pigment farms are broken because piglins now also spawn and basically fill up the mob cap for the zombie pigment farms. So one way to fix zombified piglin farms, what I called now, is to use magma blocks. So zombified piglins can spawn on the magma blocks, but piglins won't spawn on the magma blocks. So in case you use those as your spawning platform, then you will only get the zombified version. Also, if you listen closely, you can hear some of the new ambient sounds that got added to the nether. Alright, so that's it for this week. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.